Good afternoon. Welcome to Deep Thoughts While Driving. Me, myself, and I here as the norm. I haven't made a video in a few days because I've been having some health issues. Yeah, so the thought for the drive to work right now is family drama bomb. If you've watched any of my more recent videos about family drama, you know what's going on. And if you don't, I'll give you the 5-second version. Basically, my parents from next province over decided to ignore the fact that there is a pandemic going on and travel is meant to be as an absolute minimum, and keep it to a minimum and only do it when you absolutely need to. She let me know that they were coming into town. She let my sister know they were coming into town. She let my son-in-law know they were coming into town, and that she expected to have them come into town and to see her great-granddaughter. The problem with that is my son-in-law, my daughter, and my grandbaby are in a different town. It's a 4-hour drive one way with a toddler. Should be 2 in September. And my mother, being the lovely individual who she is, and has unreasonable expectations for others. Some police activity going on. Anyhow, basically wasn't taking no for an answer. I saw a screenshot of most of the conversation, at least the highlights. It did not go well. My mother used extremely unpolite words towards my son-in-law when he decided to keep his wife and daughter where they are and not travel in the middle of a pandemic to keep them safe and healthy. Not just that, he didn't mention it, but I'm quite sure that the simple financial difficulty of having to drive an 8-hour round trip, even if they're here for the day, just the fuel expense alone is something they couldn't necessarily handle. They might be able to handle, I don't know. My daughter is working part-time in a grocery store, and my son-in-law, instead of working basically full-time at a bowling alley up there, bowling alley's closed because things are closed and they're not opening yet. So he's been on EI for the last 2 months. So I can guarantee you money is extremely tight without even having to ask. I know for a fact that money's tight for them. And an unnecessary expense like the fuel for a round trip here and back, and with a toddler, and in a pandemic, and having to see a woman who basically treats him like not even a second-class citizen, a 15th-class citizen, like he's scum. She's never treated him decently, never given him a fair shake. He is, I'm not sure if he's native or part native. Well, he's native regardless. I'm not sure if it's like 100% or what, but he's native. Great kid. I've got nothing but respect for him. He does everything he can to do the best he can for my daughter, my grandbaby. And I've known, my wife's known him for quite a long time. They've been friends for quite a long time. He's had He's taken on a lot of responsibilities he didn't necessarily need to be a responsible individual. I'm not going to get into details, but I've got respect for the kid. A lot of respect for him. He doesn't take any crap when it comes to taking care of your family. Anyhow, so my parents being in town, I love my stepdad. He's a fantastic guy. I have absolutely nothing against him at all. I love him to death. His biggest drawback is he's planning to work himself to death. He's convinced if he stops working, he'll die. But the thing is, if he doesn't retire soon, he's going to die on the job. His health is failing because he's an alcoholic. Recovering alcoholic, I don't know if he's still drinking or not, but years of alcohol abuse and really hard living, really hard job. It's done its toll on his body now, and he's having a lot of health issues. So instead of being smart and retiring, he's working. I think he wants to die on the job so that the maximum benefits get paid out to my mom and everybody else. Nice hand signal guy on the bicycle. If I'd known you were turning, I would have. Anyhow, my mom's been quite a negative person most of her life, basically. It's just the way she is. But everything's everybody else's fault. Even when she's proven to be wrong, she won't admit it. And she never takes responsibility for her side of the arguments. So, obviously, my parents being in town, they wanted to get together, and it's excuse after excuse after excuse as to why it didn't happen. And I feel so strongly about the way my mother treated my son-in-law so badly. I knew the visit was not gonna go well. Anyhow, so it finally turned out we were gonna get together for breakfast today at 11 at Denny's. And of course, Denny's being open, you leave your name, how many people, you leave a number, they text you when your table's ready, kind of thing, because they're only going at half tables and social distancing and all that stuff, because again, it's in a pandemic right now. So talking to my mom and my stepdad, everything's cool. Then she brings up my son-in-law, and the conversation ended up ending extremely badly. Trying to explain to her that her behavior is causing an enormous rift, and it's me, my wife, my kid, and my other kids, and my grandbaby. It's all of us or nothing. Because if they're not going to let me see my great grandbaby, I'm going to get a lawyer and I'm going to sue them. Well, okay, really? You don't need to go that far. Stop. Talk to people. Treat them like reasonable human beings. Treat them the way you would want to be treated. Show them a little bit of respect. Just because you're the grandmother or the great-grandmother does not mean you are entitled to anything. You want respect? Be respectful. Treat people with respect. They'll give you respect in return. Don't be hostile towards them. And it ended badly. We did not end up having breakfast with them at Denny's. My mother left in tears. My stepdad didn't say anything. Obviously, he's got to go because he's got to take care of her. So, table's ready, of course, right? So, whatever. My wife, my son, and I were here for breakfast. We're going to have breakfast even if I got to put it on a credit card. I don't care. So we had breakfast at Denny's. Well, brunch at Denny's. And I hate family drama. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's not necessary. When family can't treat each other with common courtesy and respect, just because you're the mother, the grandmother, the great-grandmother, the matriarch, if you will, does not mean you can yell and bark orders at people and expect them to jump. You have to be respectful to others. Treat them with respect. Treat them as an equal. Don't treat them like they're supposed to just jump at your every whim, and then when they can't, for valid reasons, respect that. Okay, I can't talk about this anymore. It's extremely bothered me a lot. All right, that's it. That's all. Take it easy. Have a good one. Stay home. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Later.